Welcome to another edition of Real Talk. This is season 2, episode 4. I think we're on now.
I think you're right.
I hope so.
Okay.
I try to count them. I edit them every week too. I really should keep track.
Hey, but you did edit that one wrong name, so
that's true. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Whack.
But we are back and we're excited tonight. We're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're doing a 3-part series and kind of in the midst of the season on the concept of gaming addiction and what that can look like. Maybe share a little bit of our own personal experience in that. And tonight, actually, Sarah did a lot of research on this.
There's lots of Google Doc pages.
There is. It was good. On just kind of, I guess, really just kind of getting the conversation started. You're going to look a little bit tonight on what gaming addiction is and what it looks like and your own personal experience with it and that type of thing. So why don't you take it away? I'm really here just to hang out, so drink coffee.
So really, what brought me back into thinking about gaming addiction was WoW, playing WoW again.
Yeah, fair. Absolutely.
So addiction. Like, it is doing something to get a reward. It's like it's something in your brain shoots off. It's like, getting something awesome every time, but not being able to stop.
Okay.
Keep chasing it. And then craving it, not being able to function in social society kind of thing, and you kind of just
it's carrying on.
Shut yourself off. But so, like, I get comments a lot about my son being addicted to games. He's like, the other day he was seen with a 2DS, and it's just like automatically, oh man, he's going to be addicted to games when he grows up. It's like, I've, in the past when could say that I was maybe addicted to WoW, I learned, my parents sent me to time management.
Okay, hey, that's cool.
So I learned
those are
time
good skills.
Management is everything. So through that I learned that I am not addicted. I am just kind of playing, like I learned to get over it.
To work through it. Okay, absolutely.
So that's what I look through with Lucas now. Is like, he's managing his time, I'm managing his time, I'm the parent, I'm doing these things. But
that's fair.
The 2DS, I have seen him, he plays it. Guess what? He's not addicted to it. He's not chasing the carrot on the stick. He's playing Yoshi.
Nice.
He's like, he's not, it's kind of a reward, I would say. He does his chores. Guess what? He can play 20 minutes of Yoshi. But doesn't mean he's addicted. Like, I wish that people were educated on gaming addiction and not just kind of throw it out there.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, gaming addiction can be a very intense thing. I've seen it derail a lot of people's lives. I've seen it even in my own life. It's been something. There have been times in my life where I've had to kind of step away from things. Say, okay, I gotta not play this for a while because it's consuming my time. It's consuming my energy. MMOs for me sometimes can do that. If I'm not careful, it's very easy to get caught up in that progression because I am a progression gamer. So that reward is always that next level, that next thing.
That's where I got caught up in too. It's just like when you're playing WoW, you're always getting new loot and you're always getting better loot. And then now they have battle pets, so I gotta collect all the battle pets. And now I gotta get all the transmogs. And then your numbers are going always up, like your level, your crafting. It's just like there's always something to do. And I would just sit there and like family outings. Who needs them?
That's right.
It's like I sit at home, and then eventually came where my whole family kind of did it. Like we would just all play together, so it kind of became like a different thing. Like it's a family time thing where we can all hang out. But I definitely had to go to the time management school to realize that it has its own place.
Yeah, I would
put things in their own place.
I would agree, and I think that's a big part of dealing with any time thing, any time management thing. It really does come down to what type of time are you putting into something. What are you giving up for the sake of doing this thing, right? And gaming addiction in some ways is a little different. Don't get me wrong, addiction is addiction. The same neurons get fired, the same things get triggered, but it's much easier to miss gaming addiction. I think.
Actually, it's not even a thing apparently.
Well, that's it. It's not actually acknowledged or recognized by a lot of social sciences, psychologists, all those things.
It's not a thing.
So it's very easy to miss kind of that it is a thing, that it's even happening to people, but it very much can get to a point where gaming becomes your whole life, your whole time, all of your energy. You know, it can be a coping mechanism sometimes. It can be an escapism sometimes. And don't get me wrong, escapism's okay to a degree, unless that's all you're doing. If all you're doing is escaping all of the time, then that kind of raises some flags, I think. And I know for myself, and I think you mentioned this even just with WoW, sometimes it can almost be like this thing you do to get away. But I think there's a need to talk about
that's what I feel, is that people need to be educated about it. And that's what brings me on to something that I personally worry about for kids in the future
Yeah.
is the uprise of loot boxes.
Yeah, like that whole concept of,
Yeah.
of
It's like, I know people are sick and tired of loot boxes, and I get it. But, like, having a kid, or when I was a kid, I collected every single card game there was available.
That's fair.
Like,
yeah.
And I had, like, every allowance was a new booster pack.
Yep.
Just chasing that shiny Charizard card that I never got. But, like, I had to have every card.
Yeah.
Every week I was at Toys R Us buying new cards.
Yeah.
And that was, like, that's kind of loot boxes.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see it, like, that becoming a thing that, like, it obviously already is. Like, when we played Overwatch, I was just like, get to the next level, I want my loot box.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want my loot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then we keep playing to get more loot. Like, even I know the feeling, and, like, kids can't recognize it. They don't know that it's happening to them.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting reading what other countries are doing or what is happening in the loot box world in regards to kids.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird in other countries. Most countries do not recognize it as gambling.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I didn't realize why. It's because it's considered you're always getting something, so you're always getting a prize. You're not losing money like in gambling.
Correct. Yeah. That's the line.
I didn't know that. So it's like you could be getting random crap over and over, just like.
But technically, you got
something for that.
Yeah, it was an investment into something. Absolutely. And you know, it's interesting too. I feel like, because I mean, I think for the most part, I was one of the first real console generations. Like, I was raised as one of the first console generations, and now, so I mean, honestly, I think my parents and parents of kids my age, and even your age. I mean, you're only a few years younger than I am. Like, it was all new, right? Like, there was just no precedent for what is it like, you know, where your kid's not outside all the time, but they want to spend some time inside playing video games and all that stuff. And so really, I mean, the fact that we've got a full generation that's kind of gone through the cycle is now parents.
Yeah.
We're now starting to go, okay, wait a minute. There are some things we need to actually address in here. And I think video game addiction is one of them.
Yeah.
Where we don't acknowledge it on the same level as other addictions. And I think there's a need to. Yeah. Because, you know, like many other things, moderation can make most things good. Now, obviously there are some substance abuses and things like that.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Yes.
But anything really can become an addiction when it's consuming all your time, energy, and focus. And gaming is no different, but we do need to acknowledge that it is a thing. Yeah,
because you can definitely make friends with gaming, and those same friends probably want to run outside and do something too. Like,
absolutely.
It's definitely a thing to do, but you have to watch for signs. Like as parents, you definitely have to get educated.
Yeah,
because it can become a dangerous thing. Like,
absolutely.
Do I wish I probably didn't spend all of my allowances on booster packs? Probably, yeah,
absolutely. In hindsight,
they're still sitting in my basement doing nothing.
That's
all those cards are just taking up space.
That's fair. Should totally eBay those. Millions. No, absolutely.
There's so many to go through.
That's good.
But I don't know. Like, it just feels weird that countries are just kind of shoving it under the rug. Like, when I was reading about what some other countries are doing, they're just kind of like, hey, show your loot rates. Yeah. But we're not stopping you from doing it.
Yeah, just put some numbers on the table so we know what which is really no different than how the lottery works. But, no, and it's true. But I think tonight's episode really is about just opening up the conversation and saying, okay, we need to acknowledge that gaming addiction is a thing. I think it's safe to say that probably both of us at some point in our life either experienced it personally or have seen it in other people. And so, I appreciate you sharing some of the things that you talked about tonight, just in your own life and things like that. And next week, we're going to look a little bit at some of the signs of addiction. It's kind of what I'll be researching and then getting ready for next week as well, to kind of go along with this. But, we want to hear from you guys. Share your stories with us. Have you experienced game addiction? Do you feel like it's something you're struggling with now, where like you just can't get away from a game? And that goes beyond the normal, wow, this is just a great game.
I know. From somebody that plays Heroes every day.
It's true. Absolutely. Yeah, I do like Heroes.
But I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, your life revolves around it kind of thing.
No, it's true. It's true. Unless there's a really good event going on. But in all seriousness, we do want to hear from you. So leave those comments for us so we can read through those. And we look forward to kind of carrying this conversation on in the weeks to come. As we continue to explore this topic of game addiction. So until next time, thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. It's good. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Real Talk.